this is one theory that I have in my mind as far as why we're getting this match between Brock Lesnar and Omos. Now, it would have made perfect sense for you to do the payoff of Lashley versus Lesnar at WrestleMania. That would have been the perfect payoff. The perfect payoff, ladies and gentlemen. With Lashley beating Lesnar at WrestleMania. Makes sense. WrestleMania caliber match is the third match of the trilogy. Have Lashley win. Have Lashley go over Lesnar. Lesnar's going to be leaving anyways. Lashley's the one who's going to be there every week. That makes sense. The payoff was a low blow, by the way, which was a horrible idea. And they splintered off into two horrible matches for WrestleMania. And what I'm telling you, one of the reasons why I think this is a thing is because I would not be surprised if Brock Lesnar basically used his stroke and said, I'm not losing again at WrestleMania. I can see it. He lost last year. Let's go down the line and see Brock Lesnar's WrestleMania records over the past 5 or 6 years. He wasn't even a part of 37. Year before he lost, right? He lost to Drew. Yeah, right? He lost to Drew and that was COVID Mania. That was inside the PC, right? He lost to Drew. Yep. And the year before that, I was there. That was in Jersey, and he lost to Seth. So Brock Lesnar hasn't won a match at WrestleMania in 5 years. 34, I believe he won. He beat Goldberg, if I'm right, because I was there too. That was New Orleans. No, he beat Goldberg in Orlando. 34, he beat Roman. Yeah, he beat Roman. That was surprising, actually. He beat Roman for the top. That was the main event. It was really, the fans hated the match. So Brock hasn't won a WrestleMania match in 5 years. Lost at 35, lost at 36. Wasn't at 37 and lost at 38. So theoretically, it would seem as if Brock Lesnar's like, no, I'm not losing another match, because he would have lost against Lashley. So seemingly Brock's like, no, I'm not going to lose another match at WrestleMania. So he might have called the audible. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if like they're like, okay, so we're going to do you and Lashley at Mania. Brock's like, no, we're not going to do me and Lashley at Mania because I'm tired of losing at WrestleMania. He hasn't won. And then the thing is, like, Brock's a businessman. He's about clock in, clock out. He's about just getting his money. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Brock said, I'm not losing again at WrestleMania. He hasn't won a match in 5 years. So therefore, what they did was, okay, well, we still want, and again, this is all speculation. So therefore, what they did was, okay, so we're going to go ahead and do some type of payoff here with you and Lashley, just because there's been some rivalry. There's been a rivalry going on with y'all for a while. All right. So we're going to do the payoff at Elimination Chamber. We're going to do the low blow. So you're going to lose. In that way, you're not going to get pinned or you're not going to submit. So it's going to make you still not look weak. So that's what they did with the payoff. And then what they did was they said, so now we're going to give you Omos. We're basically going to feed Omos to you to give you that WrestleMania payday, to make you go against someone who's a big threat, and to have you win a WrestleMania for the first time in a while. Brock said, okay, that's good enough. I'll go ahead and cash in on that. Omos is basically saying, okay, sure. I mean, it's a WrestleMania match against Brock Lesnar. I get my payday too. There's nothing that Omos has done to earn a WrestleMania match against Brock Lesnar. Like, he is notorious for beating a bunch of job guys, getting steam, leading into some big top baby face and losing. He did that with Lashley last year at WrestleMania. He did that with Strowman. And he's going to do that with Lesnar. So, unless there's some type of swerve, but Omos being Lesnar at WrestleMania, if Omos beats Lesnar at WrestleMania, it is just a absolutely horrible logic when it comes to WWE. If someone should beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, it should be Bobby Lashley. It should be Bobby Lashley. So therefore, someone who can take the fall easily, he's been doing that since he's gotten there, would be Omos. So, okay, cool. We'll give you Omos. We'll give you your WrestleMania payday. We'll give you a win. All right, handshake deal on it. Done. This is what we get. We get Lesnar versus Omos. That's the only logical reason in my mind. That's the only logical reason why all of a sudden, from nowhere, we're getting Lesnar versus Omos is because Lesnar didn't want to take a pin at another loss at WrestleMania, and WWE still wanted him to be on the card. That's all I got. I hope that made sense. I hope that's logical to you, PNP Nation. That's all I have as far as how this makes sense in my mind.